Hey guys, welcome back to channel. If you're new here, my name is Akeem. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some of the worst revision techniques that you can harbor into your learning. So if any of these really doesn't really work for you, don't take it as a biggie because the way I compiled this list is due to a combination of my own experience, researching from books, and then contacting other people that I really know. So I think for those who think that it doesn't work for you, I think that different people can really just get you in the line. But then, as a philosophy goes, everything is a pyramid. People are uniquely different. They have different visions, different dignity and personality and choices. So without any further ado, let's dive right into the video. So the first one I want to talk about here is cramming for an exam. So as I was reading, I came across this very nice philosophy from Stephen Covey. Well, Stephen Covey says that, when we're in school, we can like procrastinate and then we successfully cram for an exam, and that is really good because it helps to give us the grades that we want, and it also gives us jobs that we want. But actually, this really prevents us from getting the fundamental general education. This really shows us that actually, education is not all about, the results that you get, but it's all about the value that is in the results. It's not all about the A, no, the B, no, the C, no, it's about the value in the A, in the B, and then C. Well, of course, C. The A's and the C's, of course, are a way of measuring the value, but it's not the A's that bring the concept out. One of the reasons why people stick on this way of cramming is that it's really very satisfying and very comfortable when you're cramming something, because when you're studying in the cramming format, is that you see a lot of increase in the knowledge about the subject you're learning. For example, let's say you have a paper or you have an exam in the evening, and then you start reading in the morning. When you start reading in the morning, by the time it reaches evening, you can like see that gap that is being closed in the knowledge you have for the subject. And so people can like tend to bring this closer onto their guard, and they can like take away the effective way of reading, which is space repetition. When you space up your studying method, like for example, you study something on Monday and then Tuesday, like it doesn't really make sense, because by the time it reaches Tuesday, it's really very energy intensive. So the next one I want to talk about here is using passive revision techniques. So the use of passive revision techniques can be very controversial, but according to me, a passive revision technique is one that doesn't fall under the desirable difficulties. So desirable difficulties are those things that a learner can surmount or can go over after putting in some sort of effort. For example, if you are trying to remember something from your brain, actually it feels very energy intensive, but actually you can surmount that when you kind of like try to force and get that knowledge out of the head. So that is one desirable difficulty. But when I talk about desirable difficulty, I don't mean getting a French book when you don't know anything about French and then trying to interpret the things there. No, that is undesirable difficulty. I'm not saying that. So I think the reason why people can like stick on these passive revision techniques is that they can like feel cognitively and intuitively right to do. For example, reading our books feels intuitively very, very satisfying, I swear. If just getting out the book and then sitting in the sofa or sleeping on my bed and then starting rereading my notes, it's really, really very satisfying. And actually, even highlighting, and seeing all the colors in the book, it also feels very, very, very satisfying. But actually, the ways that really work and are scientifically proven is using ways that involve desirable difficulties. They involve some energy in order to break through them. And that is maybe one, active recall using space repetition, interleaving your practice, and varying up your practice. So all these methods, I made some videos about them, so you can check in the description where I'm going to link all these videos. So the next one I want to talk about here is refusing to get help. Oh my god. So as I was reading, I came across this very nice philosophy which is really very heartwarming. And the philosophy says that always be strong enough to stand alone, and be smart enough to know when you need help, and be brave enough to go and ask for the help. So I think for the first part, being strong enough to stand alone, that is quite sometimes very easy. Sometimes it's easy to go as an individual lonely striker, and it's also kind of like sometimes very easy to know when you need help. Like for example, you can know that, okay, I'm screwing up my life, I'm watching a lot of TikTok and YouTube videos, and then you try to ask for help. But actually sometimes it's really sometimes very, very, very difficult to get the bravery and go and ask for help, because sometimes you have that kind of like ego that really surrounds you. You're like, what if the people think I'm stupid? What if they think, I am just trying to disturb them? Of course, I'm not meaning that asking for help in that disturbing way. You're just other people, that is not what I mean. I mean asking for help when you need it. And the other times I used to think people are going to be rude at me, but actually, there's this very nice philosophy which says that, there are only 10 harshly rude people in the world. These people are always moving around, and you can easily bump into one of them. And so when you find one of them and they're harsh to you, you can like, okay, I have found one, so I'm remaining with 9 of them. And actually, since I found this philosophy, like, it really works like magic, because if I have found people who have been rude to me, let me see, they're just kind of like 5, I don't know, but they're kind of like many. But in that 5, I have talked to almost like 1,000 people. Just 5 in 1,000. And so I think the ratio really adds up. So don't think you're just gonna find people that they're gonna be rude. No, if you find that one is one of those 10, and you have another bunch of 9. So the other one I want to talk about here is multitasking. So look, before we go any further, I want you to know that multitasking arises from distraction. So don't think that you're just gonna go with those aids in the library and you're just gonna read the whole session throughout. No, like, look, I used to do this. I used to go with a bunch of aids in the library sometimes, of course, and because this was a character that was done by some girls, and I used to find it kind of attractive. Eating while studying, feels nice. But I used to first read for the first maybe like 15 minutes, and now, okay, let me just take a snack. But oh my god, like, I used to take the snack for almost like 30 minutes. So multitasking is just a son to distraction. So don't think that you're going to be watching this video as maybe you're doing your homework. No, you have to zero in when you're doing something, really, because it doesn't really just make any sense when you're just trying to be concentrating in class while you were thinking about the playground, and then you were in the playground where you're thinking about class. No, you have to zero in. Try to do something when it is that thing you're doing. The other one is having collaborative learning with your talkative friends. Well, look, I'm not saying that collaborative learning is bad, because it has a lot of scientific research, backing it up that it works like, a sweet cake. But, the problem is that some of the times when you are like studying with your talkative friends, like, it becomes into a comedy show. Like, and actually, it's like when you're studying and maybe you are deeply starting to get focused, one of your friend makes or cracks a very terribly horribly funny joke, and you can't really hesitate laughing. So I used to study with one of my friends, maybe late in the night, somewhere like from 10 to maybe somewhere like 12. But then I think for this time we studied for only like 30 minutes, because we used to kind of like study for maybe like 15 minutes, and then we talk for over 30 minutes, and then we study for 15 minutes. You just, that's quite bit of silence, dead silence. And then after some time someone brings up a topic and it's like, why did Hitler go to France? And I'm like, oh my god. Not again. But actually, this is more of a you thing. If you like to study with your talkative friends, it's kind of like very nice, and I have no problem with that. And the other one here, and the last one I want to talk about, is refusing to set goals. Well, this is a very nice one. Well, there's a philosophy that says that, if the promise is clear, then the price to pay will be easy. So the promise is what is in the future, or your goals you're heading to. If they're clear, if you know what you really want, the price to pay can be a little bit easy, because you can easily plan and go there. So most of the time, when you don't have a plan, or when you don't have something to really help to calibrate your sense of meaning, is that it tends to kind of like distract you. And so when you refuse to set goals, and actually clearly seen goals, long term and short term goals, you fail sometimes to get that boost of momentum and the motive. And sometimes you feel like you don't want to learn, and the self discipline is not there. But the reason, when you have goals and when you've set them, they work as confidence builders. When you just achieve that small goal and then you check it off the list, like, you get the energy and the pump, and you're like, okay, my god, we just gotta do this. You just get pumped. So I think you should really learn how to set goals. And if you'd like a video about setting goals, you would let me know in the comment section, and I'll be very glad to do one more. So thank you guys for really watching this video to this far. If you watched this far, you can let me know by commenting a hashtag down in the comment section. So if you haven't really subscribed, make sure you do so, and you can give the video a thumbs up if that is it. And I always post videos once a week, or even twice a week if I really have the time. Anyway, as always, until next time.